Hey guys, let's start it in a second. I needed some sips of my coffee. I'm half awake. Been up for a while, but I'm still sleeping. What's up, Lake? Good morning, Climate Crew. Yeah. Just give me 30 seconds. The coffee will hit, and then I'll be alive. Mesoscale discussions. North Central Texas, Southwestern Oklahoma, winter and mixed precipitation mesoscale discussion. Same with up here through portions of northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, central to western Tennessee, and then southwestern Kentucky. Although I don't think you're mixing up in southwestern Kentucky right now. Let's take a look at our latest snowfall projections from the National Weather Service. Well, still, we'll go to the important areas first that I know everyone's going to bug me about. DC, I think your expected went down a tiny bit, not much. 9 inches. That's exactly what I took. What was it yesterday? Like 10 and a half. I said I think I'd expect 9. I think I was on with that one. Baltimore's looking at maybe 10 to 11. I think this is a respectable number for DC, and I think 8-9 inches is definitely more realistic than what we were looking at yesterday. Baltimore maybe 10 inches. Philadelphia 10 and a half inches. New York City 11 and a half. This is the expected. You could get more, you could get less, but this is the expected. Boston, oh gosh, expected 18 inches. Long Island 11 to 12 inches across the island. Pittsburgh, I'm just gonna hit some of the bigger cities. I know there's way more cities in these. Pittsburgh expected 12 and a half inches. Jersey's still doing pretty good. Northern Jersey 13, Central Jersey 10, Southern Jersey 6 to 7. Of course it is 6 to 7. Delaware, Northern 9, Southern 5. Expect it. Lynchburg 6.5, Blacksburg 6.5, Richmond 5.5, Norfolk 1.5, Evansville 13, Louisville 13. Oh my gosh, look at the exact area. There we go. There's the big area. Cincinnati 11.5, Indianapolis 9 inches expected. That's your updated total. 8 inches expected. St. Louis, Oklahoma City 8.5, Tulsa 8. What are we looking at for Nashville this morning? Maybe 3 inches now expected. Nashville, Dallas 2 inches. They're still thinking you're going to get a little bit of something on the back end, maybe a little bit of sleet accumulation. I'm still questioning that. Columbus, Ohio 10 inches. Dayton 10.5. Cleveland 9. Toledo 5 or about 6. Youngstown 10.5. Charleston, West Virginia 6. Charlotte, they're still thinking you might get an inch. Upstate South Carolina, they're thinking you could get an inch. Atlanta, they're thinking you could get a dusting, maybe. Upstate New York, yeah, I mean, okay. Lehigh Valley area, yeah, 13. Hudson Valley, 15 to 18 inches. Geez, Syracuse, 16 to 17. Rochester, 15. Buffalo, 10. Everyone's doing good. Southeastern New Hampshire, slammed the coast here. Portland, Maine, expected 18 inches. Arkansas, Little Rock, what are you guys at? 3.5 inches expected. Kansas City, 4 inches expected. Wichita, a couple. All right, guys, not too bad. Springfield through Decatur up to Champaign, about 5 to 6 inches still expected of a snowfall. Memphis, 4 inches. Any major ice updates? Let's look real quick, and then I'm going to get to your guys' questions. Let's look at our expected amounts for expected updated amounts for ice. Charlotte, your expected amounts have gone up to almost 3/4 of an inch. Where's my Charlotte peeps at? Make sure you're ready for that. Oh yeah. Durham, Raleigh, Rocky Mount. This research triangle, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of ice. That's not good. Upstate South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg, 3/4 to an inch of ice. Not good. Big ice here through Appalachia, all of Appalachia up to Winston-Salem, central to northern Georgia. Atlanta still expected a 1/4 inch. That's not too bad. It's not good though. Athens, you guys can see this whole area. If you're in here, watch out for ice. The Euro said that Philly was going to get a 1/2 inch of ice yesterday, and I said that was bull crap. National Weather Service seems to agree with me this morning. They're putting you guys in about 1/10 I think that's more realistic, but I'm not gonna. Weirder things have happened. Maybe you guys get a ton of ice in Philly, but it just doesn't. It's not looking like that right now. Nashville, a half-inch of ice. Obviously, Western. Okay, so southeastern Kentucky, western Tennessee, central to northern Mississippi. This is one of the main target areas in here. We were talking about it yesterday. Oh, man. Greenwood up to Tupelo. I mean, all of central to northern Mississippi and western Mississippi needs to watch out. Same with central to northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and then you can see what's happening over here in Texas. Big ice. All right. Let's get into questions. Let's start some coverage. What amount of ice measurement for DC? The latest expected in DC is a 15th of an inch, which isn't fun, but it's not bad. And that's what I've been telling you guys. I've never seen this like major ice storm through DC, Baltimore, and Philly that some of these models are suggesting. The National Weather Service is thinking that too now. It's not going to be something crazy, but still possible, but it's looking pretty good for you guys. Sassy, Marissa, what's going on? B. Lynn, Lake, what's going on? Austin, Texas? How you guys doing down there? Austin, Texas. Hey, there's a chance maybe you actually get a dusting of snow. I don't know if that's going to happen. You guys are projected to get a quarter-inch of ice. You could get more. Quarter-inch of ice is still going to give you issues, and with the freezing air after it too. But overall, there's definitely worse places to be than Austin. Let's just say that. Rhode Island, you're updated. Let's keep this going. Hold up, guys. We've got some winter. We have tons of winter weather. Ice storm warnings and winter storm warnings. So let's turn this on for a second. You guys know where you are. So you can see all the warnings out right now. Rhode Island's looking pretty good. You guys are expected to get 14, anywhere from 13 to 17 inches of snow. The further north you go, it's probably going to get better. I don't see much ice in your forecast. You guys could get more than that, but you're still pretty good. Philadelphia snow totals. I'm also very concerned about the ice. You shouldn't be concerned about the ice. You should be paying attention to updates with the ice in Philly. I wouldn't say you should be concerned right now. I know there's been weird models that try to put like an inch of ice down in the Philly. I don't think that's ever been a possibility. National Weather Service thinks maybe you get a tenth of an inch of ice. You're not gonna want to drive on that. There's gonna be some car accidents and stuff if people are out there trying to whip around in a tenth to a 20th of an inch of ice, but it's not like crippling ice like we may see in some areas of the South. Updated totals for Philly, about 10 inches is expected, but could be more. How do you see the chance for continued cold snaps in February? I think we're going to get a thaw early February, and then we'll get cool again late February. What was that? Hamilton. Racing debut. Hamilton, that was awesome. Hamilton, I really, really appreciate that, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. 1 second, guys. Mel, what's going on? I appreciate you. December. Erica, Jasmine. Can you tell me when the freezing rain moves in around Cumming, Georgia area? My husband keeps insisting going to work. Sure, let's see when it moves in. Let's take a look at the latest HRRR, guys. Let's take a look at the latest progression of the storm today. All right. I really need one of those desks that like stands up because I'm so tired of sitting. I'm like really in the mood to stand right now. Should I just stand? This is what it's going to look like if I stand and talk to you guys. It's kind of awkward. I'm going to sit. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at... This is the progression of the storm today, but let's take a little deep dive. All right. So, precipitation could be moving into Atlanta this evening. Or late this afternoon, this evening. When does it transition into ice? Potentially midnight tonight. And you could be experiencing some ice all the way through until about 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will say they've actually shifted Atlanta's ice totals down a tiny bit. We were seeing the possibility for a half inch in Atlanta. Now we're looking more like a quarter of an inch. But still, if you end up getting your high end, it's still a half an inch of ice. So, kind of good news for Atlanta, but like expecting a quarter. Like usually in most ice storms, we're like, wow, a quarter inch, that's bad. Half inch, that's bad. Because there's so much worse in this storm, we're like not really like taking a quarter inch too seriously because we have like other areas that could get an inch and a half. A quarter inch is still not fun. can knock the power out. You don't want to be on the roads. Still projected a 1/4 inch, but it's a little bit less than you were projected yesterday. High end is still a 1/2 inch for Atlanta. But yeah, midnight tonight through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning looks like one could be the worst iced period for you. Although you always got to give an hour or two before or after that time frame. Storms move at a weird pace. Is Dallas-Fort Worth supposed to get worse? Not as bad as they were saying. I know people. yes. This is the first wave. And I talked about this in my stream yesterday. You're going to get a lot more moisture developing on the back end here. This is like, there's like two storms here. You have like this one, and then you got another one back here. Let me show you this on the satellite. Maybe that'll help explain it. You see this thing right here? That is a low pressure system. This isn't even, you guys, this is still barely making it, moving over Baja right now. This Baja low. This is still coming in. This is your low that's being generated off the baroclinic boundary from our Arctic air moving down and meeting up with our Gulf warmth. This Baja low is feeding moisture into here, but this low is going to move over too. That's why when we take a look at the models, if we go to our HRRR, right, here's where we are right now. Watch what happens with the HRRR. Watch what happens to Texas as we move forward in time here, guys. Does that look worse? Here's where we are right now. Here's where we could be around 5 p.m. today. You see what I'm saying? Why? Well, what's that big spin that's happening there? Oh, there's our low. There's our low that's feeding. It's a whole nother storm. You guys are maybe 40% of the way into this thing. I'm not saying that to like be like, it's going to get so much worse, but I'm just trying to realistically show you. I know there's going to be a lot of people that's like, the storm's over. Let's go out and play at the park. Probably not. It's freezing there. There's a whole nother part of this thing behind, guys.
For southern Indiana.
I know it's a little bit of a weird setup. A lot of times with these storms, you get your storm and it moves out. It's almost like two storms. $2 super chat from Kevin over on YouTube. Snow totals for southern Indiana. Let's take a look at the latest snow totals for southern Indiana. They're amazing. Like I've been saying, that's been one of my favorite areas for quite a while. Southern Indiana doesn't really matter where you are. Doesn't really matter where you are. I mean, if you're Bloomington or south, I mean, obviously the closer you are to the border of Kentucky, the better it gets. But most of southern Indiana is expecting somewhere between 10 to 13 inches. Your high end is probably off the charts here. 16 plus inches, not surprising. I'm so annoyed. Ugh, I'm so annoyed. I lived in Philly for 2 years. In the 2 years combined, we got like 18 inches of snow. You guys are going to get so much this year. My winter weather forecast or outlook that I put out in September is coming together so nicely, and I love it. I love it. There's always there's a little skill going into making those. There's also a little bit of luck. $2 super chat. Again, Kevin, I appreciate you. Yeah, you guys are looking wonderful. Still my target area. Still one of my favorite areas is southern Indiana. I still think though Indianapolis could have a nice day though with potential overperformance. $1 super chat from Jackson. Wait, Jack's Cards. What's going on? If you want to ask a question, ask a question.
HRRR, NOM, or RFS. Some say HRRR is not good after 12 hours out. Thought?
I will say this. The HRRR should be our best model within 48 hours. Yeah, it's the best within 12 hours. The NAM, just don't look at the NAM ever in your entire life. The Rufus was actually created to replace the NAM. I'm going to say this. If you end up getting 4 inches or 3 inches of snow into Philadelphia, I will apologize to the NAM this time. The NAM did get that one storm where we underperformed in Philly or New York City, although no, the NAM said you guys would get 2 inches in New York City, and you ended up getting 4 to 5 inches. So the NAM was still said less, but it actually saw an underperformance in New York City with that storm. I forget when it was, that other winter storm this year. I don't know. Everything's blending together in my head. But the NAM has been like atrocious, which is why the Rufus model is replacing the NAM. So I wouldn't even I still, if it's outside of 12 hours, prefer to look at like the Euro. Honestly, even though it's a global model, I shouldn't. Or like the National Blend or something like that. Within 12 hours, the NAM's going to do really good. Why? Because it's literally scanning every hour. It's a 2-kilometer, it's high resolution, rapid refresh model. You get so many scans and so many updates, especially when the system's over land, all our weather balloons within 12 hours. Yeah, the HRRR is going to be really good within 12 hours. I'd even push it out to like 18. I appreciate the $10 super chat. Oh my gosh. Betcher. Let me see. Yeah. 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I meant to say, do you think the sleet will bring down New Jersey totals? Yeah, I know there's an issue sometimes with super chats where like it like won't, or I don't know how it works. It happens all the time where people post a super chat, doesn't have a question. Yeah, so sleet could bring down New Jersey totals. I don't think it's going to be the heaviest of sleet because you're still going to be pretty cold. So if anything, it's weird because it's going to weigh down the totals a little bit, but you're also going to get sleet accumulation, which is sleet, and it's very similar to snow. I've been saying for a while, I don't think it's going to be like a major, like your sleet just erases your snow. It's not going to happen. Not in my head, not at all. I think you're going to be fine. You're going to see a lot of snow is going to be on the ground once this thing moves through, and it's going to stick around after because all that Arctic air. You'll have a good snowpack. What was that? Was someone just sub? I appreciate the subs and follows, guys. Thank you. One Eye Dave. Appreciate the sub. Boston snow totals. Your expected amount now is 19 inches. I wonder if my what time is it in Switzerland? My sister's in Switzerland and she's flying back into Boston like Sunday or Monday. Hold up. She lives there. 4 p.m. Tony just knew it right off. No, okay. She just knew it right off. He just knew it right off the top of his head. I think she'll be okay flying in today if she flies in today, not tomorrow. Yeah, high end amounts for Boston, guys. Are you ready for this? Say you have just a fantastic day. Like 2 feet of snow. Wouldn't that be wild? Yeah, 22 inches. I don't think you're going to get 22 inches, but it's not possible. I'll make sure Jordan is okay, Connor. Phil, are you ready? Are you ready for 18 inches, Phil? 22, 24 inches on the high end. Yeah, and Boston isn't, I don't think you're going to get any ice or any mixing. This is going to be the biggest snowstorm Boston's gotten in. What do we think, guys? Should I ask ChatGPT? Let me ask ChatGPT. I can actually talk to ChatGPT, but I'm going to have to talk with you guys. Okay, here. When was the last time Boston got over 20 inches of snow? All right, let's see what ChatGPT thinks. Believe it or not, I don't know everything about anything all the time. All right. International Airport. 2022. So this is probably going to be the biggest snowstorm in, what, 3 to 4 years? There you go. There you go. Top tier facts. Connor's Climate Corner. The answer is 4 years. Yeah, that'd be, I guess, 4 years because it was January. Yeah, 4 years. Shut up, Phil. Let me do my job. That's my friend. Don't worry, guys. I'm allowed to tell him to shut up. All right. You guys aren't, though. I am. The Weather Channel app is predicting 17 inches in my area. That's not too bad. Good morning, chat. Did you smash that like on the way in? Hey, Purple. Lower Bucks, please. I like Lower Bucks. That's where I lived for the last 2 years. I lived in Lower Bucks, Levittown. 10.5 inches. I kind of miss that home. My old house had a hot tub. This one doesn't. And I'm very sad. I'm very sad. We were going to bring our hot tub, and then do you guys know how much it is to ship a hot tub? We were like, no, we're just going to leave it. I can't afford that. Very sad. Very sad. Bring me back to the good old days. I could buy a hot tub. I'm not made of money, Marissa. That was with my tax return money. I need to wait for my next tax return. Maybe I will this year. All right, Allentown, PA. Allentown, PA. Yeah, you guys are going to do pretty good here. You guys are expected 12.5 inches. Yeah, 11 to 12 inches. I think that's realistic. How's North Jersey looking? North Jersey, you guys are looking somewhere between 11 to 14 inches. Pretty good. Your high-end totals are pretty wild, too. 15 to 17 inches. Again, I'd take an inch or two off of that, but pretty nice. Could you see Bucks County getting more than 14 to 15 inches? There's probably a 10 to 20% chance you get more than 14 to 15 inches. So, are you feeling lucky? Copper, are you feeling lucky? Man, I wish Philly could get 20 inches of snow. I think if Philly has a great day, if Philly gets super lucky, you could see like 14 inches of snow plus. Can DC get 15? That would be your again, that would be your high end. That would be your high end. That'd be about probably 10% chance of Philly. I mean, let's see, your high end. They have your high end at 11 inches in DC, but that'd be pretty good. DC went down 2 inches. Are you worried? That's exactly what I said was going to happen yesterday, Flow Money, wasn't it? We were in the stream yesterday. I was saying, I think they were saying 11 inches for DC, and I was saying I'd probably say somewhere, I'd probably put it closer to 9, and that's what they have it at now. But still, you know, your high end's 11. We'll see what happens with you guys. Hey, listen, don't complain about 9 inches of snow into DC if you get it. Come on, that's a good snow total. What about Pittsburgh, PA? Pittsburgh, PA, your snow totals have really just continued to rise. You're still expected about 12 to 13 inches. Your high-end totals are pretty crazy. 15 inches if you guys get lucky. That 10% range, you guys get it. A ton of snow. 1 second, guys. Adriana, maybe. Elevate, Glens. Lake, Darcy, Jason, Morgan. Laura, Oscar. Kate Wake, I appreciate you guys. I'm a lineman. Could you tell me what's expected in Charlotte, North Carolina? Hey. Okay. Yeah, you guys could get a dusting of snow. It's possible you get up to an inch. Your ice is the real thing that we should be worried about. Your ice totals have gone up. Your expected ice totals over somewhere between a half inch to an inch of ice. There's going to be widespread power outages in Charlotte. Not everyone's going to have a power outage, but there's going to be almost guaranteed widespread power outages in Charlotte. Expect trees down. Expect roads to be undrivable. Road closures. And the issue is, how long does it take to resolve all of this? Because right after this ice falls, you have Arctic air moving in, and your ice might not melt right away. It might take a little bit. It's going to be a mess. Everyone's going to be fine, but it's going to be a mess, and it's going to be a headache for a little bit in Charlotte. Your low-end ice, if everything goes perfectly for you and you don't get as much ice as we're expecting, the National Weather Service still says Charlotte gets a 1/4 inch of ice. A 1/4 inch of ice still causes widespread power outages, and that's best case scenario right now for Charlotte. So again, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but when the National Weather Service says your low end is a 1/4 inch of ice, a 1/4 inch of ice is when we start getting into like the crippling ice territory. So when the National Weather Service says if everything goes perfectly, you still get a 1/4 of an inch of ice, I want people to be aware of that. If you're in Charlotte, you should be paying attention. And other areas around there too. Your low end in Greenville is a 1/4 inch. Your low end in let's look at something in Raleigh and Durham is a 1/4 inch. That's huge. Even up there towards Richmond, your low end is about 1/20th of an inch of ice. Asheville, your low end is a 1/4 inch. Nashville, your low end is around a 1/4 inch. And Murfreesboro, same with Tupelo, Greenwood. These places, this is best case scenario. You only get a 1/4 inch, and a 1/4 inch isn't good. So those areas where your even low end is that high is places where you want to be paying attention. Bill Brading, $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Realistic for Louisville? I think, yeah, Louisville's one of those areas that, yeah, 12 to 13, believe it or not, I think is completely realistic. You guys are in a great spot. Bill, did you want to ask a question? How's Dayton, Ohio looking? Yep, let's take a look. What's the latest with Dayton, Ohio? You guys are expected to get 10.5 inches, and on the high end, you could see 13. I think your high end could end up being more than that. Low end, if you guys have a terrible day, and there's, like I said, flamethrowers pointed at the sky in the city, and all the snow is melting, the National Weather Service still thinks you're going to get 7 to 8 inches of snow if you have a terrible day. Again, there's some things I disagree with, some things I agree with. I completely agree with that. I think you guys are in a pretty good spot. Yeah, Dayton's going to do good. Yep, Emmanuel. My weather news in Roseville, Southeast Michigan said 5 to 7. And close range models say 6 to 10. Once we get in this close, the National Weather Service is going to be using kind of like a combination of short ranges and the national blend. So it's pretty good to look at. If you're in South, you said you're in South? Yeah, Southeast Michigan. Yeah, I would expect 4 to 6 inches. Listen, and I've talked about the northern portion of this. The southern portion has the chance of not getting as much snow because of mixing. The northern portion has a chance of not getting as much snow because we literally have the North Pole sitting over us, the air up here. So dry air is going to try to eliminate some of your totals here. So I would even say 4 to 6, but there is a world where you guys way overperform because the dry air doesn't kind of choke out all that snow. And in that case, you can see the National Weather Service gives you 9 inches. I would say 4 to 6 inches in southeastern Michigan. It's going to be like the nicest snow ever, though. It's going to be like the fluffiest, nicest snow ever at that ratio. That snow's hard to make snowballs with, though. I'll tell you that when it's that light. The best snowball snow is definitely going to be Evansville, Louisville, Cincinnati. You guys are going to have solid snowball snow. Indianapolis, the latest. You guys are expected to get around 8 to 9 inches. High end, it could be more. I still think Indianapolis, and I've been saying it for a while, is an area that could overperform. Blazin, Melissa, Adriana, Tabby, Lorena. What's going on? I appreciate you guys. High and low end for Central New Jersey. Yeah, you guys are expected right now to get 10.5. If you guys have a terrible day, aliens come down and put a bowl over the entire center of New Jersey and everything goes wrong. The National Weather Service is still giving you 5 inches. I actually think your low end maybe should be lower, maybe closer to 4, but that's fine. But your expected amount is still. You can see Tom's River out to Trenton. There's nothing here. Farms, Long Branch, West Freehold, all these areas. You're expecting not too bad. 10.5 inches still. Dallas Fort Worth, I know. People are like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. There's a whole nother half section of the storm coming through. Here's the storm right now. Okay. Here's what it could look like later today. So, now, what time is this? Oh, man, I really want to be... I guess I'm going to do this stream. When my kids nap, I'm going to stream again. I can't stream tonight. I'm going to the Panthers Wild game. Do you guys think I should skip the Panthers Wild game to stream all night? Let's see. Why does AccuWeather... Yes, Hayden said yes. Hayden said, screw your fun. Yes. Oh my God. I thought I'd get more no's. It's like half yes, half no's. You guys are crazy. I thought it would be all no's, and people are like, yes. I feel that though. I do actually really want to stream this. This could end up being one of Storm of the Decades. Again, this is affecting like 200 million people. Izzy, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Melissa, Leo. Okay, there was a question I just wanted to answer, and I just got distracted. Why does AccuWeather have me getting half an inch of ice in Bucks County? I don't think you're going to get half an inch of ice in Bucks County. Yeah, but the thing is, like, I like AccuWeather. I typically like the way AccuWeather does their forecasting and their totals. So they might be seeing something I'm not, but the National Weather Service doesn't see that either. I don't think you're going to get a half an inch of ice in Bucks County. I just don't. And Apple Weather has me getting... No. Don't throw Apple Weather away. You're not getting 21 inches in the Bucks County. Throw Apple Weather away. Throw it away. It's the worst possible thing you can look at. Use AccuWeather. What does AccuWeather have you getting in Bucks? I don't think you're getting half inch ice, so that's interesting that AccuWeather has you getting that. Chase, Regal, JC, I appreciate you guys. How do you feel about the Weather Channel app? It's okay. Yeah, the Weather Channel app's fine. I'm fine with that. Sadie. Connor, my weatherman, said possible less snow for me. More ice than snow. Sadie, I forget where everyone lives. I forget. I try to remember like 150 different people's locations. When I went to get a new ID the other day, they asked me my address, and I didn't even remember my address. Yeah, I forget where the mods live. I just get... Listen, I'm dealing with some short-term memory loss lately. And I'm actually not even joking. I actually am. It's getting addressed, though. Apparently I have high levels of calcium in my body, my doctor said, and it causes short-term memory loss. Don't worry, Chad. I'm addressing it. Fully fixable. Apparently I'll be back to normal in a couple weeks. Okay, but I am suffering from a little bit of short-term memory loss.
Southeast Montgomery
And even when I'm
County,
fixed,
PA.
if I forget something, I'm actually still going to use that as an excuse. So, whatever. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I see, Sadie, we were literally talking about that yesterday. Yeah, I know where you are. I got you. Give me a second. I don't know how to... Aluka, $2 super chat. I appreciate you. I got you in 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I know it's been multiple 1 seconds. Oh, you think less snow and more ice for that area? You guys are expected 7.5 inches. Your high end is still 13 inches. Let's take a look at your latest ice forecast. It's not looking bad. It's not looking bad. I mean, your expected is a quarter inch, which isn't good. Expected is a quarter inch, which isn't good. Yeah, it looks like your ice totals have gone up a little bit, and your snow totals maybe went down a little bit. But I mean a little bit. Like, a little bit. What, like, it looks very similar to what we were talking about yesterday. And let's take a look at the HRRR, what the HRRR does as it moves through your area today. Let's take a little look-see here. Because HRRR is going to be fantastic within this range. Let's see how many hours of snow could we see there. 2 p.m. You could see 10 to 12 hours of snow. So I think 7 to 8 inches is fine, and maybe even an overperformance there. I'm not too worried about it. You're going to get some good snow on the ground there. $2 super chat from Aluka, Southeast Montgomery County, PA. Montgomery? Or did you mean to say Montgomery? You guys are expected. Oh my god, yeah, you guys are in that area that could way overperform. I mean, you're expected is 13 to 15 inches, so I don't know if you're going to overperform that. That's already a ton of snow. We're talking about up here, right? Where are you up there near Sunbury, Bloomsburg? Williamsport? 13, 14 inches. Sheesh, look at your high ends up there. 17. You guys aren't going to have any mixing issues. You're still in a great spot. Will the rain wash this away in Nashville? It's kind of a good question. Let's take a look at Nashville. Let's take a look at our progression in Nashville throughout the day. The thing is, you guys are expected to have most of this to be freezing rain. Freezing rain is going to compact the snow, but it's not going to wash out your snow. Rain can kind of wash out snow, but you'll probably still have a lot of... And look at this back end snow that the HRRR puts into Nashville now. This to me looks like you're going to get some fluffy snow on the... You could get some fluffy snow on the ground, compact it with ice, and then put another inch on top on the back end. So it'll still be nice and wintry looking in Nashville. I wouldn't be too concerned, but your ice totals could be a little bit frustrating. Mesoscale discussion down there from Nakagdushes. I don't know how to say that, guys. Forgive me. Through Shreveport, El Dorado, out towards Greenland. You guys are in a wintry mix, ice, winter mixed precipitation, ice and sleet. Mesoscale discussion. Memphis, what's the latest for Memphis? You guys are still expected 3.5 inches of snow. Let's take a look at your ice totals. Expected ice totals in Memphis. Only 1/10 of an inch. Not too bad. But your high end, if everything goes wrong, over 1/2 inch of ice, that would be bad. There's only about a 10% chance of that. But not too bad. Fisher, can you please go out? Okay. Thanks, Fisher. Maybe I should lock my door so my naked son doesn't walk in here, guys. What do you think? Uh-oh, where's my lock? Hold up, chat. Okay. There we go. Connor, can you explain why radar is showing snow, but it isn't reaching? Sometimes the pin mess. I need to. Sometimes the messages don't show fully. Let me expand. Oh, but it isn't reaching the ground yet. Okay, so the radar is obviously shooting radio waves up into the air, and those waves are hitting. There's things interfering with those radio waves, which are droplets of moisture, which are your raindrops, your snowflakes, and that shows up as reflectivity. And our colors on... Okay, Fisher. 1 second. That shows up, obviously, as depending on what they are, the shape of them, they're going to show up as sleet, they're going to show up as ice, and what the perceived temperature is, they're going to show up as snow, sleet, or ice on our map here. Now, just because we see precipitation falling 500 feet up, 1,000 feet up, 5,000 feet up, doesn't mean it's going to hit the surface. That just means it's up in the air. Depending on your dew point, depending on humidity, depending on the temperature, the dryness of the air, sometimes that precipitation evaporates before it hits the ground. So the radar could see a big bulk of snow like this, but nothing's actually hitting the ground. It's just up in the sky. Typically, though, when you have your darker blues and your darker reds, that is heavier precipitation, and it's very unlikely to evaporate before it hits the ground. Sometimes you see stuff like this, the lighter greens, could evaporate before it hits the ground. Not necessarily evaporate, could dry out. But you get these heavier colors in here, and this stuff is heading towards the surface. But sometimes you can be like, there could be a big portion of the radar where you have lighter precipitation showing up and none of it's making it to the surface. Most of the time it is, but not always. Not always. There's going to be like 10% of this stuff that's just not making it to the surface. Maybe even more. I meant Southeast Montgomery County near Philly. Oh.
County near Philly.
Well. Oh, you didn't. Oh, sorry. You didn't have to super chat again, but I appreciate the $2 super chat. Not much has changed for the Philly area. You guys are still expected 9 to 11 inches, which is really good. And the ice totals, like I said, aren't showing anything. We're not seeing anything crazy from the National Weather Service. I know there's some apps and I know there's some model runs that are showing a half inch of ice into Philly and into that region in Philly Metro. I don't see that happening. I don't think ice is going to be too much of a problem. You could get a little bit of a sleet and freezing rain that tries to compact your snow a tiny bit, but you guys are still looking perfectly fine. The HRRR still being nice to you guys as well. Still not concerned. Still no concern for me for you guys. I think it's going to be a great day. Lake, I appreciate that. Augusta, Georgia. Let's take a look at Augusta, Georgia. I need to take another sip of my coffee before it gets too cold. Quarter inch of ice expected. High end, still about a quarter inch, so not too bad. Yeah, you guys are just, this is just an ice and freezing air problem for Augusta. There's a lot worse places, but expected around a quarter inch. Expect there to be some power outages, some trees down, and expect some road closures and difficulty traveling in Augusta. Definitely, the timing is going to be as we get into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the timing for Augusta real quick. I don't want to look at the timing for everyone. It takes a little bit, but let's take a look at the timing for Augusta. Things start to go downhill potentially as we get into this evening, 9-10 p.m. And then you're getting potentially freezing rain starting at around 3 a.m. tomorrow. You could be seeing freezing rain all the way until 1 p.m. or 3 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow.
What's the deal for Odenton, MD?
$2 super chat from Kendra. Kendra, I appreciate it. What's the deal for Odenton, Maryland? You guys are just to the south and west. It's really weird how they do their square cities in Maryland. Let's take a look at the latest for you guys. Let's take a look at the latest. 10 inches expected on the high end if you get really lucky. A foot. Ice totals, you guys are expected. That's the high end. You guys are still expected to almost get a 1/4 inch of ice. So again, not as worrisome as we go up the coast here, maybe southern Jersey, but you guys are still expected to get about a 1/4 inch of ice. So expect delays, expect I wouldn't say widespread power outages, but local power outages, possible trees down on the roads, depending on if you get closer to the higher end of snow or higher end of ice. 10th of an inch, 20th of an inch doesn't always bring trees down, but it's close. Yeah, I mean, I think I would bring your totals down. Your expected is 10. I'd probably bring your expected down to 8. I would say like 8 to 9 inches. National Weather Service likes closer to 10 for you guys. Hey, the weatherman says 10 to 13 inches in St. Louis. Is that realistic? I think that's on the high end. You guys are expected about 8 inches, but you guys have just begun. How long have you guys been snowing for there? It's hard to tell with the radar here. I think that's a little high. I think it's a little high for St. Louis, even though I think you guys could overperform.
We're about an hour north of Daytona.
I got you. I appreciate the super chat, Bill. Got you 1 second. Christina, I appreciate you. Colby, Coco, Erica, Donald, Leo, Oscar, Chase. $4 super chat from Bill. Total for Wapakoneta, Ohio. Oh, man. Definitely butchering that, but that's okay. I forgive myself. All right. Wapakoneta. There you guys are. Okay, so where are you guys? You guys are to the north of Dayton, far northwest of Columbus, south of Lima. All right, let me get my bearings here. You guys are expected 9 inches. Your high end closer to 13. I would give you guys 8 to 10 inches. No.
Richmond Va, thanks for all you do.
You guys could overperform there. I think 9 inches is perfectly fine. You're not gonna have any mixing issues. When are we gonna have this? $2 super chat from Christopher. I appreciate you. Thank you. Well, you guys make me enjoy doing this. So, let's see. When's your snow moving in? Potentially around 8 p.m. And you're snowing maybe all the way until 6 p.m. on Sunday. Actually, this is the 25th. Yeah, 6 p.m. on Sunday. So, 24 hours of snow. You could get an overperformance there. And Wapa, you know how to pronounce it. $2 super chat from Christopher again. Thank you. Richmond, Virginia. Let's take a look at the latest in Richmond. Some heavy potential. Guys, are you anyone in Jackson, Tennessee right now? Or Nashville? Are you getting snow or is it a little bit of a freezing rain mix? Is the radar lying to me? Sometimes the radar lies. Richmond, you guys are still expected to get 5 inches of snow. Could that be on the high end? Maybe. National Weather Service thinks your high end is closer to 6 to 7 inches. I would say expect 3 to 5 inches of snow in Richmond so you're not disappointed. But taking a look at how the HRRR treats this, and the HRRR is good within this range. You take a look. It's a good front end snow here. You could have a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could have a good 7 hours of heavy snow. So, maybe you do end up closer to 6 inches if you do get that 7 hours of heavy snow. The HRRR is still putting a good front end snow into your area. Your ice is still an issue in Richmond. Expected to get almost ½ inch of ice. Very serious. Expect there to be widespread power outages. Not everyone's going to lose their power in Richmond, but expect there to be a lot of people who do, unfortunately. Atlanta ice totals have come down. But when I say come down, you're still expected almost a 1/4 inch. A 1/4 inch is bad. Anything over a 15th to anything really, I would say over a 15th of an inch is when it gets a little dicey. 1/4 inch is bad, and then once you get to a ½ inch, it's crippling. Once you get to a ½ inch and above, it becomes crippling. I don't really care about the difference whether a ½ inch falls or an inch falls. Once you get to a ½ inch of ice and above, it's just bad. Obviously, the more you get is worse, but it's just bad after a ½ inch. Coventry, Connecticut. I mean, Connecticut's the size of my thumb, so I don't think we need to go over every part of the state. The whole state is expected anywhere between a foot to 17 inches. The farther north you go, the more state you could, the more snow you could get. But the whole state of Connecticut looks fantastic, and you're not expected really to get any mixing. You could, I think, maybe get a little sleet. I don't expect you to get ice, but maybe not even any sleet. You guys are looking super good. Your high end amounts are wacky too. Your high end amounts are like closer to 2 feet. It's pretty wild. Have a fun Sunday with that. Can you talk about the mixing for Long Island? Any chance for it to move south? Yeah, we can talk about that. Look, even with mixing being considered, the National Weather Service is giving you 11 to 12 inches. The high end of 14. Let's take a look at the latest ice. You guys are not expected to get any ice, basically, on Long Island, so I wouldn't worry about it. Let's take a look at what the sleet could be like. Let's take a look at what your sleet could be like. We'll go into the HRRR. $2 super chat from Jack. Knoxville, Tennessee. Jack, I appreciate that. I got you in a second. All right, let's take a look. Here's our progression from the latest HRRR, guys. High definition rapid refresh model does really, really good in the short range. Here we go. Getting into 5 a.m. potentially tomorrow morning. Or snowing. How long is it snowing in there before we get any potential mixing? Before any potential mixing comes in? Almost 12 hours. We'll call it 10 to 12 hours of straight snow before potential mixing moves in. Then it could be even more. Look at that. I mean, we could be pushing 14 to 15 hours before any mixing. And then and then how many hours of mixing could we get? I'm not buying this freezing rain up here on the HRRR. It's possible. You could get 8 hours of mixing, but this is much lighter precipitation. So maybe you get a little bit of your snow compact at the end. Your totals are going to be so nice, though. It's I don't know. It's all you got to put this all in perspective. Like, this type of mixing to me is like not even on my radar because of the stuff that's happening down south. Like, this is just such little mixing compared to what the south is going to experience, that it's like you guys are on the lucky end of this storm. Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's see what the latest for Knoxville is. Oh man. Expect it's come down a little bit, huh? Expected about an inch into Knoxville. High end, 2.5 inches. Taking a look at the radar, it already looks like you could attempt to overperform that, but let's take a look at our ice forecast for you guys. You guys are expected to get a tiny bit of snow and a tiny bit of ice. It's not actually a terrible place to be. Cold air looks like it might be the biggest problem for Knoxville. The way the radar looks, maybe you do end up getting like 2 inches of snow on the ground. Let's take a look at the current temperatures. Obviously, the temperature at the surface still doesn't matter. It's the temperature aloft that's going to give you your ice. But let's take a look at the current temperatures. We're 32 degrees in Knoxville, and the temperature is dropping. Maybe you overperform on that snow. I appreciate that $2 super chat. $2 super chat from, I don't know how to, wine girl. I don't know how to say it. Southwest Missouri, between Springfield and Joplin along I-44. Look at that. 8.5 inches still expected to potentially fall, and on the high end you could get 12.5. Yeah, you guys are looking pretty good there right now. Look at the snow that's moving into that area now. Let me turn off the let's turn off the temperatures. All right. Some dry slotting happening back here, but this right here is heavy snow that's about to move through Bartlesville up towards Joplin and Springfield, and this is all going to fill in here. Like I said, our Baja Low is moving in back here, and you're going to see a lot of the snow filled in here. So I think your heaviest snow is yet to come in your area between Joplin and Springfield. Expect good totals. An ice forecast for you guys is non-existent, so congratulations. Not even on my radar. Oh, I didn't even mean to make that. I didn't even mean to make that putty. Maryland's looking good again. You know, you'd probably want to be in central to northern Maryland. If you're in far southern Maryland, especially along the beach, we're thinking 3 to 5 inches. I agree with that. Could be a little bit less on the beach. You see your ice forecast. Your ice forecast through Maryland, from like California up to Waldorf, up to Chester, Denton, Charlestown, Kennedyville, Warwick. That's kind of the strip there where you guys are expected to get a 1/2 inch of ice. DC to Baltimore north, not expected to get as much ice. As you get out towards the beach, not expected to get out as much ice. But yeah, I mean, Central Maryland, I'll give you a 6 to 9 inches, 7 to 10 as we get up towards DC and Baltimore. And of course, the Panhandle looks fantastic. You could do huge numbers over foot in the Panhandle of Maryland. Refresh this. Give me a second, guys. Has the storm eased? No, the storm is just cranking up right now. The storm is cranking up. No problem. Appreciate the support. Franklin, Ohio, 15 miles northeast of Cincinnati. Thank you for making that easier for me. Another area, I mean, I've been highlighting this area for overperformance for a while in here, so I think you guys could see an overperformance. Let's take a look at your high end, because they give you a 10% chance of hitting your high end. I'll give you guys a 20, 25, 30% chance of hitting your high end, just because I like this area. What's your high end? 14, 15 inches? Maybe, guys. All right, I need to drink my coffee. Maybe you guys hit your high end there. Not much mixing, if any. Christina, Lori, Misty Rain, what's going on? Anna, Addie, Diamond. Solar. Connor, important opinion. I took a bet and need to know, is Southern Indiana, Charleston, Indiana, about 20 miles northwest of Louisville, still looking at 12 to 18 inches and no mixing? I think you're still looking at no mixing, but 12 to 18 inches. Yeah, they have you at 12 and a half. That's still an area that I like the high end potential in. So yes, I want to say that I want to say that like 13 and a half is going to be my guess for that area. That's a risky guess, going above the expected amount, because a lot of times you get below the expected amount, but I like this area. So I'm going to guess for like 13 and a half in that area. I don't see any mixing happening there. Let's take a look at the latest ice forecast. Yeah, you guys are going to be good. You're not going to likely get any sleet. All right, let me drink my coffee. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to wake up. My bet was 13.7. Nice. We don't want any dry slotting, but you're not... I think a lot of this is going to fill in as this moves forward. So I think we're going to be okay. Snow's coming. It's coming for you guys in southern Indiana. Central Kentucky, it's on its way. Not too long. Wait, let me take a sip of this. 1 second, guys. Ice totals in Charlotte have gone up. You guys are now expected to almost get 3/4 of an inch in ice. It's going to be a crippling ice storm. Your guys' low-end ice from the National Weather Service, if everything goes right and you don't get a ton of ice, is still a 1/4 inch, which still can cause widespread power outages and road closures and all sorts of issues with trees falling. And so just be prepared in Charlotte. Again, I'm not trying to fear-mongering. When you have a low-end ice total of a 1/4 inch, which is bad, you got to take it seriously. Your high-end being your high-end ice, I think, is over an inch into Charlotte. Yeah, your high end is an inch into Charlotte, which would be very, very bad. Your expected is almost 3/4 of an inch now, which is up from yesterday. So it's going to be an ice skating rink in Charlotte, unfortunately, I think. Let's go ice skating in your driveway. All right, let me just sip this coffee for a second, guys. I need to wake up. Give me 2 seconds. Man. Sorry I didn't put out a video today. Like I said in my stream last night, I was like, I've been going to bed late and waking up early, and I was like, I'm either going to make a video this morning or stream this morning. And I can't stream tonight. I'm going to be out at a hockey game, so I figured I'd get my stream in this morning. I might stream again, though, this afternoon when my kids are taking a nap. Okay, I'm back to answering questions real quick. For you guys who don't know, I try and post videos and stream every single day. I have a Discord. It's completely free. It's an awesome, the best weather Discord out there. It's completely free. I don't get anything off you guys joining this Discord. So why are you telling me about the Discord? Well, because I've spent a ridiculous amount of time putting this Discord together for all you. A lot of you know what it is, but hey, every single day, my kid is screaming. Every single day you can look at this. So snowfall updates. This is from the National Weather Service, 24 to 48 hours. National blended models, Winter storm updates, 72-hour expected and high-end snow and ice totals. So if you want to know how much the best snow you could get or the worst snow, the worst ice you can get, the best ice you can get, whatever. HRRR short-range models, everything is in here. Your temperature outlooks, your rainfall outlooks, your forecast and outlooks, NWS alerts. Here's your map. If you're wondering, every single day, this is actually new. You can see you can index what everything is in here, or see the index. Severe weather, tornadoes, wind, everything, wildfire, earthquakes, droughts, volcanoes, ENZO, MGO, hurricanes. If there's a tornado warning issue from the National Weather Service, it's in my Discord within 3 seconds because the Discord's linked to the NWS. Severe thunderstorm warnings, or NWS page. Flood warnings, PDS alerts. You guys can even, if there's a tornado warning, you can hit summary, and then you can say, hey, you can ask the AI, hey, is this going to hit my house? And it'll answer you. You know, we've got the weather memes. Funny weather meme from yesterday. Yes, this was the mesoscale. This was live on the radar yesterday, guys. That is a real thing. NWS is trolling us. Guys, I'm not seeing a ton of weather photos. We need more weather photos. Weather talk, all the good stuff. I'm going to be putting a lot more into training. Obviously, I've been super busy. Announcements, when I'm going live every day. Anyways, so if you want to join, it's completely free. There's a link to my Discord in every single one of my YouTube videos, guys. Not in my YouTube lives. I'm trying to figure that out. Every single one of my YouTube videos in the description. There's a link. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. It's completely free. It costs nothing. I just want people to use it because I spend a lot of time working on it. And I put all the updates in there every morning of what's going on. So just a free thing. And we're going to be doing merch giveaways and all sorts of stuff in there too, which is free as well. You know. Okay. And the wonderful mods are in Discord too. Yes, and the best mods in the world are in there. If you can't click the link, copy, paste it into the browser. Yep. Who is getting the worst outcome? Who's getting the worst? I'm worried about a city that rhymes with Kupalo. Do you guys know what city I'm talking about? Who could get the worst of this winter storm? Rhymes with Kupalo. Let's see who's going to be the first one to get it. Kupalo. Rhyme. Tupelo. Chris, I like the way you spelled it. Tupalo. Yes. Tupelo, of course. Maybe. I am concerned that Tupelo, and not just Tupelo, Boonville, Oxford, Granada, Greenwood, Greenville, Holly Springs, Florence, that whole stretch in here, I'm concerned about you guys. I'm concerned about you guys. We have crippling ice. You have bad ice, crippling ice, and catastrophic ice. I would hit this with the catastrophic ice potential. Luckily, we've had time to prepare. We've been telling people your home's not going to collapse. You don't have an F5 tornado hitting your house. It could be worse. It's ice. It's annoying. I'm sure you guys have some food and bottled water, or you have some friends who are, well, what's the word? Able-bodied, who can help you. You could be spending a few days in your house. There's going to be some power issues. It's going to be an issue getting around. It's not going to be fun for a lot of you guys. You're going to be okay, but it's not going to be fun. All right, let's get back to answering questions. I'm going to do speed round in a second. Looks like the ice is coming right towards Birmingham. Yes, but we have a warm nose in here that might even keep most of that ice to the north of Birmingham. Let's take a look at the ice forecast for Birmingham. Yes, you guys are expected to remain out of ice because I think you're going to remain just too warm. Just too warm. At the surface. Mystics, I think it'll remain just too warm at the surface. Check in on the elderly. Check in on any animals that were left. If you have friends, and if you're in any of this ice, if you have friends that you know are out of town and left their animal, and maybe even if they have someone coming over once a day to check in on them, there's going to be widespread power outages in some of these areas, and your temperatures outside are going to drop well below freezing. Checking on the animals, checking on the elderly. It's not a great situation. And the worst part about this sometimes is if there's a medical emergency, you get a quarter inch of ice, let alone an inch of ice on the surface. You're not going to see ambulances driving around. It's going to be hard for them to get around. Check in on everyone. What about North Georgia? North Georgia still being projected to maybe get a dusting of snow. Ice is the real issue for North Georgia. Once you get up towards Canton, Gainesville, Dalton, your expected amounts go anywhere between a half inch all the way up to an inch. to an inch and a half. So be aware of that. Atlanta, quarter inch is expected, which is still bad. Lawrenceville, Athens, Roswell, Carlton, Rome. You guys are all still expected to see some ice. Carlton, not as bad. Not as bad on the expected ice. Young Harris, Blairsville, Mountain City, Clayton. Major ice totals. Major ice totals. Ice is the story there, not the snow. And the record-setting temperatures that are right behind it. Who could see record-setting temperatures? You guys want to see who could see record-setting temperatures? It's going to be a lot of you guys. Okay, after I do that, I'm going to speed answer questions as quick as I can. Yeah, if you're on O2, make sure your closest firehouse is aware if the power goes out. See? Lake knows what she's talking about. Thank you, Lake. Make sure they are aware. Okay. Love that. Okay. Let's take a look at the latest record-setting temperatures, and then I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. Okay. Record-setting temperatures. What do we have ahead for us? Here we go. Right now we have, for today, some record-setting temperatures in Texas and Oklahoma. When I say record-setting, I mean lows. Okay? Here is, you have, okay, so at the same time, this is hilarious. At the same time, you're going to have record-setting lows in Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, maybe Missouri, Oklahoma. You're going to have record-setting high low temperatures in Florida. Florida's having a great time. Margaritas down in Florida, bathing suits, the sun. They're loving it. Little hop over the Gulf and you guys are in 5-degree weather. All right, so let's take a look here. Here's our potential lows for tomorrow. Non-wind chill lows. This is what I'm talking about if the power goes out from ice and you're in Little Rock and it's -2 degrees. Your house is going to get cold. I mean, you know what I mean? It's bad. Houston could get down to 20 degrees. We could get into almost the single digits in the northern Louisiana. Look at that. Single digits in northern Mississippi. We're negative in Oklahoma. Negative through portions of Texas. Let's go into the next day. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're 26 degrees in New Orleans. That's not wind chill. We're 18 degrees in Houston. We're what? 10 degrees in Dallas. Look at all these lows. A -2 in Nashville. Lots of record-setting lows here. Let's push out east. We're hitting record daily lows into Philly, 7 degrees. Research Triangle, we're around 8 degrees. Raleigh-Durham. You can see Virginia, we're hitting records. Upstate South Carolina, 8-9 degrees. That's not wind chill. We're setting records there. Southwestern North Carolina, Appalachia, we're hitting records there. Records everywhere. Records for everyone. All right. Push out a little bit further. Still, as we get into Wednesday. That was Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday, we're still setting records. Maybe 5 degrees in Philly. Maybe 9 degrees in Baltimore. Non-wind chill. So, oh, and then look, we get into next week, and we're still setting records out here. So, lots of records to be broken. Lots of daily records. Some may hit all-time records, but lots of daily all-time or daily low record temperatures to be beat. Meaning this is the coldest you've ever been on that day. So, like for instance, I'm pretty sure most of you understand. This would be the coldest temperature in recorded history for January 27th for all of you in recorded history. On January 27th, though. Maybe not an all-time record low. Some of you might hit all-time record lows. Let me see something real quick. 24-hour... do I have all-time record lows on here? Let's see. I don't know if I have it on here. I'll take a look later. Look at that. Yeah, getting into Friday. Even some record temperatures still out there towards Kentucky, Virginia. Anyways, all right, let's do speed round. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. Did anyone just learn that they're going to hit record temperatures from that? I hope someone learned something today. Did anyone just learn that they're going to be in record temperatures? Record low? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Sorry. I'm setting up for, okay. We're going to do speed round of answering questions. Like I always say when I'm doing speed round, if you ask about, some random city, like Carmel, Alaska, and I'm like, I don't know where that is. That's going to take me time to look up. I want to answer all your questions. If it's a smaller city you think I might not know off the top of my head, Just tell me where it is geographically, right? Like if the city was here, I would say southeastern Missouri. You want to know why? Because the difference between here's southeastern Missouri. The difference between here and here, here and here and here and here is not going to be much of a difference. Now, if you're in the mixing area, it could be different. There could be a difference. So try to get pretty specific. Like, oh, I'm 10 miles north of Jackson, 25 miles to the northeast of Jackson. If you're in a big city, Birmingham, Atlanta, you guys know the big cities, even moderate cities, Louisville, Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, whatever. All the Springfield, like, I'll know what it is. Don't give me counties. Don't give me small cities. I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. All right, let's get into it. Do I think it could shift south? Yeah, we could see a little bump south. It's always possible still. Chickamauga, Georgia. Just south of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thank God you said just south of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, I'm just worried about the ice there. Let's take a look at your expected ice totals. Holy smokes. You guys are, okay, not too bad. It's worse a little bit out west. You guys are expected a 1/4 inch. Your high ends are close to 3/4 of an inch. Prepare for potential widespread power outages. The potential for widespread power outages in that area. Richmond, Virginia, you guys are still looking like expected 5.5 inches. I'll give you 4 to 6 inches definitely. Let's take a quick look at your ice totals. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice. Expect widespread power outages. I would say, yeah, widespread power outages. Not everyone's going to lose power in Richmond, but there's going to be a lot of people who do lose power in Richmond. All your snow is going to come on the front end. All your snow is going to come on the front end. Probably snow for about 6 to 8 hours there before we transition. Sorry, someone just popped up on my screen, slowing me down. $2 super chat from Tony. Final call on Newport News, Virginia. I'm going to take, okay, so the National Weather Service has you at 2 inches. Really quick, I know I'm doing speed round, but I want to take a look at that for him. Okay. How does the HRRR advance this? 3 hours of heavy snow. Yeah, I have to agree. 1 to 3 inches of snow. It's going to be 1 to 3 inches of snow. Let's see here. I know your low end is a 1/2 inch. I think I put your low end at 1 inch. Ice forecast, you guys are going to be just fine. All right. St. Louis, Missouri, you guys are looking good. 8 inches expected. You definitely could overperform that. Alexandria, Louisiana. Again, where the heck is Alexandria? What did I say about saying small cities? Listen, if you're in central to northern Louisiana, I wouldn't worry about snow. I'd be worrying about ice. But if you're in far northern Louisiana, maybe you get a little bit of a dusting. Maybe you get 1 inch or 2. It's possible. It's possible. So you're saying there's a chance. Yep. Southern Delaware, you're expected. Southern Delaware, you're expected to get 5 to 6 inches of snow. And on the low end, your ice isn't going to be bad. On the low end, you guys right now, if you have a bad day, you're still expected to get 2 to 3 inches. So expect snow on the ground. I think you'll get at least 4 inches of snow there, in my opinion. Northern Jersey, I'm so sad, not that much anymore. Okay, so guys, he said I'm so sad, not that much anymore. Apparently 13 inches of snow isn't enough for him. Plains, come on, that's good snow. I hope you end up with your high end total, 16 inches. Not expecting to get much mixing into Northern Jersey. I think you guys are going to be just fine. Another good target area. Really stretching from northeastern West Virginia all the way through Harrisburg, Allentown, Scranton, up into the Hudson Valley, Hudson Valley of New York, and then northern New Jersey. You guys look pretty good. They didn't switch it. I'm looking at the National Weather Service right now. You might be looking at something else, but they didn't. It's not. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the latest HRRR here. Potentially 5 a.m. heavy snow, 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. Maybe 8 or 9 hours of heavy snow. No, it still goes. All right, so you're looking at maybe 13 hours of heavy snow on the latest HRRR. Moderate. We'll call it moderate to heavy snow. It's not all going to be heavy the entire time. I think you guys are going to be A-okay. Really quickly, guys, I'm going to keep answering questions. Euro. Let's take a look at the latest Euro winter.
Totals dropping just below DC.
Yeah, not by much. By like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Not much, Nick. I appreciate the $2 super chat. We'll look at that in a second. Let me just pull up the newest Euro again. Okay, so let's go really quickly up into the Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, the Euro is still saying for North Jersey 12 to 15 inches of snow. The GFS is saying 9 to 11 inches of snow. It's weird. The GFS has been southern this entire time, and the GFS is coming down with snow totals now. Isn't that weird? The Euro's saying more. This is the 12Z that just came out from the GFS. So the 12Z did push the totals down. Let's see what the we'll see what the Euro says. Euro's obviously a better model to look at. The 12Z of the GFS is still putting 9 to 10 inches into DC. We'll call it 8 to 9 inches into Baltimore. This is actually more of what I expected from the GFS. This is what I was talking about, where I'd take my snow down an inch in that area, guys. I did say more like 10 to 12 in northern Jersey, so that's fine. I can agree with this. 10 to 12 in northern Jersey on the GFS. We'll see though. We'll see though. Southern, look at that. The GFS still puts some okay snow down here. We'll call it 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 4 inches down here in southeastern Virginia. Huge snow. 20, almost 2 feet of snow into Boston. This is the latest GFS, actually, guys. Let's go over this really quickly since a lot of people have questions. Here's the latest GFS. Still really good snow in Oklahoma City, Tulsa. Look at that. Northern half of our northern edge of Arkansas. Central to southern Missouri. Still has 12 inches of snow into St. Louis. I think that's a over-exaggeration. Sorry, let me switch my screen so you guys can see what we're looking at. I still think that's a little bit big in Central or in St. Louis. We've now got like 12 to 14 inches in Indianapolis, maybe. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Still, this has been the area I've been highlighting the entire time. 18 to 20 inches into this area. Maybe we even extend it out like this, right? The border with southeastern Illinois and Kentucky, southern Indiana and Kentucky, southwestern Ohio and Kentucky. I think you guys are going to end up with fantastic snow. The GFS has actually still putting good snow across Tennessee here in the Nashville, trying to get more snow out into eastern Tennessee. So I like these totals. Look at Columbus, 14 inches. I think these are still a little bit high, but let's take a look at the latest national blend. Sorry, we're getting some updates here. I want to see what's going on here. Let's take a look. We'll go back up towards the mid-Atlantic here. The national blend still likes 12 to 14 inches for northern Jersey. Still likes 9 to 10 inches for DC to Baltimore. Still likes 10 to 11 inches for Philadelphia. 12 inches, a foot into New York City, and then Jersey still looking good. Tons of snow up there for Boston. We can see Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Virginia, we're looking pretty good throughout most of the state. And the national blend's still trying to put an inch in the Charlotte, which is interesting. Maybe even an inch in upstate South Carolina. I'm not so sure about that, guys. But that's what's going on. Let me go back to speed answering questions. Yeah, Nick. Totals aren't really okay. So the totals, Nick, and I appreciate the $2 super chat again. The totals in DC are getting closer to what I've been expecting this whole time. But I've been telling you guys, when we saw like the 10 to 11 here, I said I think DC could be a little bit lower, maybe around 9. That's kind of the latest we have here. So, all right, 20 miles east of Maysville, Kentucky. Assuming Maysville, Kentucky. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what Maysville, Kentucky is. I've heard it a million times. I just can't think about where it is off the top of my head. There it is. Okay. Oh my God, it doesn't even show up on the... Hello? It doesn't even show up on the map. I have to zoom all the way in. Yeah, you guys are still expected to get 10.5. What's your high end up there? High end's very high still. We'll call it 13 plus, 14 plus. Ice forecast, you guys are good. All right. Speed round. Again, if you tell me a small city or a small county, I'm not gonna be able to answer you right away when we're doing speed round. Tell me where it is geographically or what big city it's in here. Let's see. How cold is it gonna get in northern lower peninsula of Michigan? How cold is it gonna get in northern lower peninsula of Michigan? So we're talking about northern lower peninsula. Northern lower, like here. I'm confused by northern lower peninsula, if I'm being honest. It's gonna get freezing. I mean, you're gonna have Arctic air over you. You're not gonna set any record-breaking temperatures though. You're not gonna set any record-breaking temperatures, but you're gonna obviously be well below negative. Low end totals for Central New Jersey? Sure. Low end totals for Central New Jersey? 5 inches. That's about a 10% chance. What would low end be in Bucks County? Let's take a look at the low end. If you guys have a terrible day in Bucks County, we're looking at Southern Bucks at around 5, Northern Bucks at around 7. If you guys have a bad day. That's the latest from the NWS. Take it to the bank, catch it. Can you do snow and ice for Northern Kentucky near Cincinnati, Ohio? Sure. Sure. Snow and ice. Again, this is the area I think could overperform. I really like this area near Cincinnati, Louisville, Evansville, Owensboro, this whole area. Maybe even all the way down to Paducah. Ice forecast, you guys look perfectly fine up there, even on the high end. Snowfall forecast, you expect it. Big circle. Expand it all the way out here. 11 to 12 inches, they give you on the high end. 13 to 15 inches, super realistic to me. I don't think you're going to have any mixing issues. Hi, Sawyer. Hi, Sawyer. My name, I appreciate it. Oh, I thought it said evil. Elvis, I appreciate it. Bo, KB, Connie, Christina, Mason, K-Mill. Squishy Bat, solid name. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. Thank you for any of the follows and subs, too. We're trying to grow. I'm trying to do this full-time one day, maybe at the end of this year, and you guys are getting me closer to that goal. So I really, truly appreciate all of you. Did someone bring up my... yeah, Charlotte again. Charlotte, your expected ice is 3/4 of an inch, which is crippling. Expect widespread power outages. Expect the roads to be undrivable for a while. You have Arctic air settling in after. You're not going to get that ice thawed out right away. Expect some tree damage. This isn't fear-mongering. Your low-end ice totals, if you have a good day, is still 1/4 inch, which is bad in Charlotte. I have lots of family, lots of friends in Charlotte. I've been talking to them about it. Is Charleston, West Virginia, safe from ice? I feel like your ice shouldn't be too bad there. Let's take a look, though. Yeah, your guys' expected is only 1/10 of an inch. If you guys have a horrible day, you're at 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is bad, but it's not widespread power outages. It's more localized. Still not good. There's gonna be power out in the area. There's gonna be trees down, stuff like that. But your expected is only 1/10. Not too bad. Not too bad. Your expected amount of snow in Charleston right now, 6.5. And if you guys get real lucky, maybe you push 10 inches. What's your low end in Charleston? Still 4 inches. Not bad. Nice fluffy snow. I'm back from breakfast. I had 3 scrambled eggs and 3 slices of cinnamon sugar toast. Brendan, you're making me want to get up and go eat. Stop it. Central Maryland snow totals. Right now, your Central Maryland snow totals, they've ticked down a little bit. Not in my head. This is what I expect them to be. Central Maryland, we're talking about 7 to 10 inches. In that range, you're still expected to get. I would even say 8 to 9. Narrow down. Your high-end snow totals, we're still seeing the possibility from 9 to 12 inches in there. Your ice forecast could be anywhere from 1/10 through Central Maryland all the way up to maybe I would say just over 1/4 of an inch of ice, which could be a little sketchy. Not the worst. There's way more ice, way worse ice in the south. Total for Toledo, Ohio. 6 inches is the expected amount. You have a really good day. 10 inches. I think it's going to be closer to 6 because of the dry air up there. But the National Weather Service, well, yeah, that's what their expected is too. So.
Elizabethtown in between Harrisburg and Lancaster.
$2 super chat from Zach. Elizabethtown in between Harrisburg and Lancaster, like you just heard. Let's see. I'm guessing we're talking about PA, Harrisburg and Lancaster. There we go. Let's see here. There we are. You're expecting right now is 13 inches on the high end. We're seeing 15.5. It's a great spot to be. You guys could definitely hit 15. You guys could definitely hit your high end. Don't expect any mixing or ice. Is it possible? Yes, but you guys are in a fantastic spot right now. Heavy. There's going to be periods where you're getting 2 inches an hour. Maybe even more. Nikki, hey Connor, it's colder than the models are predicting. It is snowing in spots where it's supposed to be sleeting right now. That wouldn't even have to do with the temperature on the surface, though. That has to do with the air aloft is colder than expected. So, like, even if, like, really, the temperature on the surface out here doesn't really matter that much because you can see down here, we are 25 degrees in Monroe, and we are ice. There's no snow falling. We're 24 degrees up here. We are all ice. We're 25 degrees up here. We're all ice. Yeah, so it could be cooler aloft. That would be why it's snowing instead of sleeting, but that's good to hear. That's good to hear. We definitely want snow. Yeah, that's good to hear. We definitely want snow over ice. Marion, Illinois, it's coming down good right now. Nice. Let's take a look. I'm going to get into some local radars here. Let's take a look at Marion. Let's get into a local radar. Oh, reflectivity. There you go. Let's take a look at this. Yep, and you are going to be snowing for a while. This is some nice looking reflectivity moving in. Look at that. Yep, let's start to add up your totals. Let's push back a little bit further and see what's happening back here too. This needs to come together a little bit more, but I'm liking it. We can actually keep the snow up. Guys, I like the green reflectivity because if you know it's snowing, the green will show you a little bit better how heavy the snow could be. Who's in Nashville? Are you guys getting heavy snow right now? Are you guys getting heavy snow right now? Is it going to snow heavy in PA? Yes, across the whole state.
Kernersville, NC, between Winston-Salem and Greensboro.
Kaylin said, I got you. Gianna, I really appreciate the $2 super chat. I got you. Give me 1 second. Yes, it is. It's coming down. Guys, Nashville, taking a look at this reflectivity. Man, you guys are going to get thunder snow down there? Oh my God, Nashville, at least for the next 2 hours, don't expect. Do you guys have really thick flakes right now in Nashville? I'd assume you have thick flakes. Thick boys, as we call them. You guys got some thick boys there? Kernersville, North Carolina, between Winston-Salem and Greensboro. I got you. Give me 1 second, Gianna. Yeah, we got the thick boys in Nashville. This is the time frame right here, Nashville. The front end snow. This is when you need to accumulate, and you are looking so nice on the radar right now. This that's about to move into your area. Oh my gosh, just that circled area right there could be 2 inches of snow, and then we have a little bit more behind it. Let's hope you. Oh man, I'm pushing for an overperformance in Nashville with what I'm seeing. Snow for Philly. If Philly has a bad day, they might only get 6 to 7 inches of snow. I think Philly hits 10 inches. All right, definitely. National Weather Service gives you 11 inches expected. Nashville, you guys look so nice. Bowling Green, you're going to get some snow flying in there soon if you're not already snowing. Let's take a look out here. A little bit of snow maybe moving into Knoxville soon. Cokeville, Crossville. Let's take a look up here. Some heavy snow's getting ready. It's getting close. Moving into Evansville, Louisville. You're going to start here soon. Let's take a look at some of our bands back here. Let's take a look. This could potentially be some. I think it's going to be more snow than mixing. Some heavy snow that's getting ready to push back in to Oklahoma City. If you're in downtown Oklahoma City, expect some heavy snow totals soon. All right, Kernersville, North Carolina, between Winston-Salem and Greensboro. Let's take a look. You guys are expected to get 2 inches of snow. I'm going to say a dusting to an inch because I'm worried about mixing. But I do think you'll get a layer of snow on the ground. Might even be just accumulation of sleet, okay? Your ice forecast, you're expected between Winston-Salem and Greensboro is a ½ inch of ice. I would consider that on the crippling side of an ice storm. So expect widespread power outages. Not everyone's going to lose power. A lot of people will lose power. I think at least 50% of people probably in that area have a chance of losing power here. Maybe more. Expect roads to possibly not be drivable for quite a while. It could be 48 hours. It could be a week. It depends. You have Arctic air moving after. How much salt are they going to get down on these roads? I hope there's salt and everything out here, but it's going to be rough there. It's going to be a little bit rough there. I appreciate that, Gianna. 20 to 30 miles north of Knoxville. You guys are expected to get an inch of snow. I think there could be a mixing issue there as well. Your ice at least is not looking too bad. So high end could be bad, but right now your expected isn't too bad. Not the worst place to be. Not the worst place to be there. Not a ton of snow. Not expected a ton of ice. You guys are going to see record-setting temperatures as we get into early next week. They've been salting all week in Raleigh, thankfully. Good to hear, Mel. Ice or snow in southwestern North Carolina, mountains, 3,700 feet. You're going to get some ice there because of the warm air aloft, but you're probably going to exceed snow totals because the maps aren't good at doing predicting snow in the mountains at elevation. So I think you guys are going to end up doing okay. Now, let me look at the high ends. National Weather Service only has an inch or two in the high end. I think you could exceed that in the mountains in North Carolina. But yeah, ice, even southwestern North Carolina, even up in the mountains, a quarter to a half inch of ice is still on the table for you guys. So driving's going to be sketchy up there. Please give a projection on just west of Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know if I would say the expected is 9 inches. The high end is, let's see, upwards of a foot or around a foot. I'll give you guys, in my opinion, a little bit less, 7 to 9 inches up there. I think you might, I'd probably say closer, yeah, maybe I'd even say 6 to 8. Again, dry air up to the north, I think, is going to mess with some of these snow totals. But, again, if you have a great day, there's still a possibility you get a foot up there near Cleveland.
Thank you. Low temps for Kernersville, NC.
$2 super chat again from Gianna. Low temps for Kernersville, North Carolina. Let's see here real quick. We were just looking at the, your area is probably going to set record lows. Let's take a look there. Daily minimum records. Let's go down here. Actually, here we go. Chance, you
Hi,
set.
Connor. How's Northern Death? Will ice affect snow?
I got you, Audrey. I appreciate the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, Tuesday might be the coldest up here in, what is it? Kernersville. That's right. Look at that. Real temperatures getting down to 4 to 5 degrees with wind chills in the negatives. So it's pretty cold. If I were to actually go into, let's take a look at our actual apparent temperatures here. We're talking about feels like temperatures as we get into Sunday, getting down into 7, maybe 6 degrees in that area. And then as we get into Tuesday, look at this. Could be reaching, you could be stretching for -5 to -10 degrees, Kernersville. And it stays cold after that. It continues to stay cold. I mean, all the way through early next weekend. Look at this. Negative feels like temperatures in that area too. It's pretty crazy. I got our northern Delaware. Will ice affect snow? It's going to have a little bit of effect on snow, definitely. Northern Delaware is expected to get 8.5 inches. I'd say that's fine. That's fine, yeah. 7 to 9 inches. High end, 10.5 inches possible. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'd say maybe, I don't know, 10 inches. All right, Northern Delaware. Expect it. A tenth. We'll say a tenth to a quarter inch of ice. I think sleet affects your totals a little bit more.
How will the thunderstorms coming from the Gulf affect things?
You guys are going to have good snow.
North sooner or later. Thanks for your interactive lives.
No problem, no problem. $5 super chat from JC. I appreciate that. I'll get to you in just a second. If you get 8 to 9 inches of snow, 8 to 10 inches of snow, you're not going to see a horrible impact from your sleet and freezing rain on the snow. Could get a little back end snow as well. Let's hope you get your expected amount in northern Delaware, because your expected amount, a 10th to a 20th of an inch, isn't too bad. Isn't too bad. It could make your snow a little crusty, though. Joel, I appreciate you. Life Pearly, I want to fish. Mike, Melissa, Aiden, Coconut, Detective, yeah, Jason, I appreciate you guys. I know I'm missing some people. Appreciate all of you. Philly, I shouldn't be too bad. You guys expected is a 10th to a 20th of an inch. If it's real bad, you could push over a quarter. I don't think that's going to be the real story in Philly. I think the snow is going to be the real story in Philly. How will the thunderstorms coming from the Gulf affect things? Feed the moisture moving north sooner or later. Thanks for your interactive lives. Well, that's what's causing all the ice in the south.
All you do for the community. Ravens Country, let's ride.
Ravens Country, let's ride. Oh, man. Harry, $10 super chat. Holy crap. I really appreciate you. And for that, go Ravens. Listen, I'm a Giants fan at heart, and so I feel really bad that we took your coach. But I think the Ravens need a fresh start. Healthy Lamar Jackson next year, a new coach, and you make a run. A real run. All right? So, look, yeah, how will these thunderstorms coming from the Gulf affect things? This is what's feeding us all of this warm air up here. So, this, if we looked at the models 48 hours ago, we weren't even seeing as we'll call it beefier thunderstorms down here. So we're getting some serious pull from the Gulf right now, and this will amplify as we move through the next 24 hours. We saw on the HRRR last night. This is the more thunderstorms you see down here, expect this snow to get much thicker and much heavier up here, because the more of that Gulf moisture, that Gulf heat that we get up there, that Gulf humidity we get up here, you're going to start seeing heavier snow totals to the north. That's exactly how it's going to affect it. Your low is just going to deepen even more. More instability around your low, heavier snow to the north.
Meteorologists are saying 5-8 NYC.
Meteorologists are saying 5 to 8 inches into New York City. The National Weather Service right now expected totals in New York City. Straight from the National Weather Service, expected totals in New York City. Let's take a look. Let's let this load. To me, it looks like 11 inches is being expected in New York City. I would take a lower end of 9 to 10 inches in New York City. 5, if you guys get under 8 inches, that's a pretty big underperformance in New York City with what we're seeing right now. Not going to say that it's not possible. That's your low end. That's your low end expected right now. National Weather Service gives you about a 10% chance of getting that level of snow. Thoughts on the snow sleet line in New York City, Long Island? I just don't think sleet and snow is going to be a terrible issue for New York City. Yeah, you guys are expected 11.5 inches in New York City, especially not Long Island. Look, the National Weather Service thinks if you have a terrible day in New York City, you still get almost 7 inches of snow. 5 to 7 out here in Long Island, too, if you have the worst day ever. I don't think the sleet and ice is a huge story up there in New York and Long Island. It could be. I have to give you my opinion right now. I don't think it's going to be a big story up there. Do you think it'll start snowing in around 1? With how this storm is moving? Well, yeah, what time? You guys are Eastern time, huh? So that would be 12 o'clock for me. 2 hours? Maybe 2 o'clock, Emmanuel. For you. Are they still calling for an inch of ice in my area? I like calling it Taco, Georgia. Probably. Let's see. Yeah. 3/4 of an inch of ice to an inch. Expect it. Your high end is ridiculous too. Not too bad. Half an inch. They're saying 0.6. Yeah. Not too good, unfortunately. It's going to be messy. Yeah, all right, I'm Cowboy. Thanks for the cowboy hat. I appreciate that. Grayson, I appreciate you, Joel. Life as a Pino. 22. Can you please see Woodbridge, Virginia, below DC, near the I-95 corridor? Sure, let's take a look there. Woodbridge, Virginia, below DC. Wait, below DC, but in? Let me see here. Oh, yeah, you're like right there. Okay, I see where you guys are. What's your expected right now? You're expected somewhere around 8.5 inches. I would probably give you 7.5 inches expected. I'd take those totals down a little bit. Curb your expectations. 10.5 high end. I do think the high end is possible. I mean, like the high end is there's gonna be such heavy snow. Any high end is possible out in this area. Ice forecast. You're expected is a 1/4 inch. Expected is a 1/4 inch of ice. Sorry, that was high end. Well, you're expected still almost a 1/4 inch. 20th of an inch of ice. High end is closer to 30th of an inch. Expect maybe not widespread power outages. Expect power outages in your area. I'd say it could even get close to affecting 50% of people. We'll say 20, 30% of people. Trees down. Yeah, as we get further south of Washington, D.C., your ice totals could go up. So still not looking too bad, though. It's way worse ice storm expected down to the south than up here for you guys. And your snow totals are looking still pretty decent in that region. How long have I been streaming for? Because I'm going to stream it a little bit later too, guys. We're going about an hour and a half. Let's see. When will it be in Pittsburgh? What's the latest HRRR we have out? We have the 13Z out. Is it fully loaded? Okay. We actually probably have a newer one, but I'm talking about within weather-wise. Let me actually take my reflectivity gate and make it smaller. -6. That's fine. We'll keep it at -6. Well, okay. Yeah, looks like ARRR is good to look at it in short range. Your snow, and give or take 1 or 2 hours on this, but right now it's thinking tonight at around 11 p.m. Snow starts moving into Pittsburgh. Could it be 1 a.m.? Yeah. Or could it be, 9? Yeah. So. Give it a little bit of time. Philly going to get slammed? Probably. All right, guys. I'm going to be back on in a couple hours. I'm going to get back on when my kids are taking a nap. But I'm going to do some stuff this morning. Maybe like eat food or something, something crazy like that. I'm going to be back on in a couple hours. I will be back on in a couple hours, and we're going to be going over all this stuff really quickly before I get off. Updated snow totals. Updated snow totals from the National Weather Service. You guys know where you are. If you're in this dark orange, we're talking about the potential for 8 to 12 inches. The even darker orange here, we're talking about 12 plus. The reds, we're approaching 2 feet. Okay? So, you get into the yellows, we're talking about 6 inches, and then dark blues, 4 to 5, and light blues, we get a little bit lower. These are the latest. You can see what's going on in here. Lots of snow along the I-95 corridor, a ton. Still expecting somewhere between 8 to 12 inches, maybe more. New England's going to get slammed. Ohio looks great. Northern Virginia, a lot of West Virginia. Central to southern Indiana, central to northern Kentucky, central to southern Illinois, central to southern Missouri, northwestern Tennessee, northern Arkansas, Oklahoma, expect more. Panhandle of Texas there, expect more. And then look at New Mexico. Portions of the Rockies, a little bit of snow up there in the northern Rockies as well. Ice, you guys need to be prepared for ice. Here's the latest on the ice expected amounts. Eastern Texas, central to northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, central to northern Mississippi could get slammed. Central to western Tennessee, central to southeastern Kentucky, northern Georgia, central to upstate South Carolina, central to western North Carolina, maybe even, pretty far out east of North Carolina, central to southern Virginia, southeastern West Virginia. You're looking at really central Maryland, and then maybe southern New Jersey, and central to northern Delaware. That's our ice concerns right now, our biggest ice concerns. I'll be back on a little bit later. Again, really quickly, guys, if you want to join an absolutely awesome weather Discord, best weather Discord out there, it's completely free. The link to my Discord is in the description of every single one of my YouTube videos. Not my YouTube lives, my YouTube videos. It's Connor's Climate Corner HQ. We got tons of people in here. You want to take a look at all the snowfall maps I take a look at in here, snowfall updates, and I'm trying to just give you the best ones from the National Weather Service, the National Blender models, the HRRR, our best short range, and then our NWS 72-hour expected and high-end snow and ice totals. You get your temperatures in here, your rainfall forecast, your National Weather Center alerts, tornadoes, severe risk zones, hail, wind, fire, earthquakes, drought, volcanoes, ENZO, MJO, hurricane, storm reports. If there's a tornado warning, a severe thunderstorm warning, a flood warning, it's instantly posted in here. It's connected to the NWS, and you can even ask it questions if it's going to affect your area through the AI. SBC updates, NHC updates, space weather updates, WPC updates, mesoscale analysis. So lots of awesome stuff in here, guys. It's completely free. It literally doesn't. I just want people to use it because I spend a lot of time putting it together. If you're new here, I try and stream and upload every single day. I'll be back on in a couple hours, guys. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone. And if you did join the Discord, I'm going to go in right now, and I am going to do this. I'm going to turn you all into climate crew so you can actually see what's going on. All right, I'll be back on in a little bit. Thank you, guys. See ya.